Hello crafters and welcome back to AdventureCraft. This entire project was inspired by a fellow crafter and YouTuber named Eric from Eric's Hobby Workshop. I'll have a link to his channel in the description. But he made a pretty dank spaceship diorama. By the way, if you are not in the chosen few beautiful beings who are subscribed to this channel, please consider subscribing. It's free and you can always unsubscribe at any time. The worst case scenario is that you just unsubscribe later, but we have hours of entertaining content and very helpful terrain tips, so please consider subscribing. I wanted to make something similar, but not the same as his, because I had some ideas on how to make it better. I started out by cutting a 1-inch insulation foam base, and also cutting a diagonal section out of that for the backdrop to sit in. Next, I cut 2 strips of cardboard to make a case for the background. This will later hold the piece of construction paper that will be painted to look like stars. I glued this onto the foam and discovered that it was a bit too small for what I wanted, so I cut another strip and added that in. Next, I cut out the front section of the wall. This will be the part that is shown in the majority of shots here, and will also have, hopefully, the best paint job and detail. The whole point of the diorama was to have a big window, so I used a compass to cut that out. This actually turned out to be quite hard, but eventually I decided that was as good as it was gonna get, and I glued it in. Next, I cut out bottle caps and pieces of cardboard to start creating support pillars for the walkway coming later. Next, I cut the walkway to the size and shape that I wanted it. I also left some space for greebles and other details down below. Next, I glued the support pillars in. Then I took some tubing, pipes, paper clips, everything I could find that looked remotely like wiring, and used that to texture the base of the diorama. I spent some time on this, trying to make it look orderly, but also kind of chaotic. Next, I took a sheet of cardstock and cut that into several strips to create some layering and more detail for the walkway. I wanted to really emphasize the gothic origins of Warhammer, and thus added in yellow stripes on both sides. This is kind of something that you think of as occurring back in that age. Eventually I was pretty happy with that and cut several more strips to cover exposed cardboard and also to texture some wall space. After that, I cut and rounded strips of foam board to make a kind of poor replacement for nice rivets, but it was all I had lying around, so I just went with it. You could also use fine balsa wood dowels, but I didn't really have any lying around that wouldn't crack when I cut them. So I just ended up using these. Next, I took some white paint and splatter painted it onto the piece of cardstock that I grabbed, and eventually that started looking pretty nice for some stars in the background. I painted the sides and interior of the diorama black. Next, I painted the walls gray and the walkway red and yellow. Then I took some washes and used that to simulate grease and wear on the wall and also on the piping. Next, I 3D printed an Imperial spaceship. I'll have the link to that print in the description if you guys want to print it. After that, I painted it all up nicely, and then I attached it to the backdrop using paper clips. After that, it was pretty much done. I was pretty happy with how it turned out. It looks pretty nice. I've been having a little bit of an issue with the lighting, but I think I fixed that now. Just please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you guys, see you later.